Hapade, welcome to Coffee with the Candidates. I am Paulie Suba, and today we have Mr. Don Antonio Ada Ekalani. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Okay, so I have a few questions here, and we're just gonna go down the line, but be as be as frank as you want, be as comfortable as you want when you answer these. Here we go. Your first question, sir. What will be your first legislative initiative if elected?
I think that we're going to have a majority Republican in the legislature for us to have any real chance at passing any bill into law.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's also going to have to be something that the Democrats will be willing to address. But in the past, I have looked into a bill that's already been brought to the attention of the 35th legislature, which is Bill 18-35, which deals with helping the homeless. It's James Moylan was the author, I think, of the bill 18-35. So that is definitely one of my interests. I hope that I don't have to wait till the 36th legislature. I hope that bill 18-35 gets addressed soon. But to my understanding, it's still stuck in the committee with Senator San Augustine. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And Senator Moylan doesn't know if he's going to get a public hearing date. But I don't know if they can still have public hearings, or we have to wait until the end of this month or the beginning of next month. But if they could give Bill 18-35, which is from Senator James Moylan, a public hearing date, that would be great. I really would appreciate that. That's my interest is to help the homeless. Policy regarding the help center and homeless shelter.
Right. So you're running on the Republican side. Has it been frustrating just to see the super majority work? Is that why you want to put your name in the hat as well to balance things out?
I've said before, as good as this legislature has been, and they're trying their best, I have a feeling that they could do better. I don't think the public feels that they've done as well as they can do, and it might be due to partisan politics. I don't know, and it's really I don't know, the word I use is frustrating, disappointing, maybe. And I think I haven't heard of any Republican bills that have gone forward. I haven't heard of anything, and it's due to the Democrat majority.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you want to point the finger to the Speaker, Munya Barnes, or Governor Lulian Guerrero, whatever the case is, Republicans are not being heard. So I don't, it's a very unfortunate. I would hope that it doesn't take a Republican majority in the legislature, but it's looking that way.
Right. So what is your stance on transparency and accountability with GovGuam?
Well, the media has a lot of unanswered questions, and that would be probably a starting point. And whenever the public and the voters call in the radio stations, they have unanswered questions. That's definitely something to pay attention to. So if there's anything then along those lines, usually it's the more experienced politicians who are familiar with time-sensitive issues. And me being a newcomer to all this, I'm pretty sure there's a lot I'd have to learn if I get into the 36th Guam legislature. And it's something I'm looking forward to. And I hope that the people of Guam, and I think I want to make sure I answer your, any other questions and you have in mind.
Right. Also, if you were to chair a committee,
How's my
it was great. If you were to chair a committee, which would it be and why?
You're pausing.
Okay.
Your audio, your screen paused there. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Here's the question again.
If I was to chair a committee, that's what I heard.
Yes. If you were to chair a committee, which would it be and why?
You're asking which committee I would chair and why?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought about this. I, I think it'd be interesting. Yeah, it's probably presumptuous to say, man, I'd like to be speaker, but that would be one of the incumbents who's more seasoned and experienced. But I'm definitely interested in the committee and roles because they deal with the session days, right? And maybe even the public hearing days. So, I mean, you're not giving the Bill 18-35 public hearing days got my attention, right? But then that wasn't the committee and roles. That was Senator San Augustine's committee. But then again, I have to defer to the Republican leadership, what they think would suit me. But I definitely would like to be on the committee that helps the homeless. That's
okay.
for sure.
Okay. So you've already put in a bill with Senator Moylan. You're talking about that, and you would like to continue to work again.
No, that's not my bill. That's Senator Moylan's bill.
Senator Moylan. Oh, so that has really.
I was saying I didn't put
that bill. That bill in general got your attention, right?
I'm sorry?
The bill in general got your attention? Yes. Okay, so.
Yes.
And that's definitely something that you want to work towards if you were to become senator. Speaking of the homeless here on the island, and you're also seeing that the lieutenant governor has set up the motel for the homeless. What other aspects would you hope for? Would it be like social programs to help lift them up, or are there any other issues?
Well, see, those issues I think are covered in the Bill 18-35, right. The Help Center, the homeless shelter, and this is just the start, the beginning. Okay. And I think they have meetings every Thursday with some lieutenant governor. Well, now they handed over to Mayor the Mayor of Sedania. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name right now.
Hoffman, Senator Hoffman. I mean Mayor Hoffman.
I heard Mayor Hoffman is in charge of this the meetings now for the homeless, the interagency office. Was it I can't think of the acronym, but it has to do with the homeless.
Okay.
So every Thursday, I think around 11, they have this meeting online, and I think it's you can look at the past meetings. But yeah, definitely in my interest.
Got it. Are there any other interests as well? Maybe I can't. Well, to come to think of it, what about Guam's political status? Does that sit well with you? What's your stance on that?
I like being a U.S. citizen. I've been a U.S. citizen my whole life. My grandparents were very patriotic, loyal Americans, thankful for being liberated.
Right.
My dad was a former Army. We're a military family. Mm-hmm. I've lived off island and interacted with people from all sorts of backgrounds. So I think I would work together with the people of Guam. What their preference is, what the preference would be the people of Guam, right. If they have a vote, what have you. But I definitely myself, I like being a U.S. citizen. So right. whatever that entails with the political status of Guam, that's something I think that the public should be heard. The voice of the public should be heard. Yeah.
Right. Also, how would you have handled the economic crisis resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic?
I I give credit to President I apologize, Trump, and I mean, they've been so critical of him. He closed early, then he didn't close early enough, or he didn't do enough. I think he's done as much as he could in
Mm-hmm.
in the right at the right moment, and he's also emphasized that we need to have a, safe interaction, but we also need our economy to be stimulated. If our economy doesn't get moving, we're going to have a lot more and bigger problems in addition to the COVID. So everything needs to be taken into perspective, and we all need to be as serious and professional as possible, and stay positive, do our best to contribute. Uh, and it's important to have oversight, but there's to the point where you don't have to be so uh, uh, negative about everything that the leaders do. Whether it be Trump, President Trump, it would be Governor Leon Guerrero, right? I don't think that she's being mean spirited when she makes her decisions, but we also live in I guess a form of democracy, or as I've heard it said, a constitutional republic.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be certain freedoms allowed. There has to be interaction within the government. There are your checks and balances. So everyone has to have their say, and it has to be within the system. And that way, it's been that way for a few hundred years, and our system has worked pretty well. We've been through a pandemic before with the Spanish flu. I have confidence and faith that we'll make it through this pandemic. We just have to work at it and do our best.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm taking a long way around answering your question.
No worries.
You're asking what I would do in particular to be improve, or the best way for us to is it stimulate the economy or open the economy?
To stimulate, either one, stimulate or continue to get us out of the pandemic.
We need to have more venues of communication, like with video conferencing.
Mm-hmm.
Since we know that we're keeping it distance, social distancing, and we're limiting interaction, we know we have to invest more in video conferencing and different ways of keeping in touch. It can't just be a total blackout and standstill. We're not getting bombed. We're dealing with a pandemic. So we're going to have to find ways to invest in this video conferencing. And I haven't heard too many people say, yeah, you know what, we're going to have a town hall at a certain place, and we're going to connect to each other like we're doing now, and it's going to happen more frequently, maybe be once, twice, or how many times a week we can do this. Just the other day, I was looking at, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I saw this suggested with one of the other Republican candidates. I think Michelle Renta was on Facebook suggesting we have town halls and video conferencing, and she was, I think it was an idea that she was presented to her by someone else. So, I think we need to do this. We need to have more video conferencing, town halls with video conferences. I don't know why people aren't trying to do this. And the Democrats in the legislature, they're the leaders. I don't know why they're not trying to implement this. I'm hopeful that the Republicans would try to, but then I don't know that the Republicans have to be the majority to try to implement this either. So I'm just a newcomer.
Right.
I don't want to be critical of anyone, but I'm more like I'm pleading, I'm asking, please.
Right.
Will the leaders implement more communication venues and video conferencing? And I'll tell you what, I'll ask these questions more if I get in the 36th legislature.
Well, best of luck to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here on Coffee with the Candidates. Once again, Mr. Don Antonio Ada Ekalani, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for your time.
And that's going to do it for us here in this interview for Coffee with the Candidates. Stay tuned.